distinguished participants from various institutions and industries, my dear students, good afternoon to all of you. We have 3 speakers for this session. All the 3 talks will be in online mode only. So I request each speaker to take 25 to 30 minutes for their presentation and 5 minutes question and answer. So now I will introduce the first speaker, Dr. Narayanaswamy. He is a retired professor from Indian Institute of Management, Bengaluru. He is going to deliver a talk on digital currencies and social concerns. Dr. Narayanaswamy was a professor of finance and accounting at the Indian Institute of Management, Bengaluru. He received the degree in 1986 to 2021. He has a PhD in accounting from the University of New South Wales, Sydney. He has qualified to be a chartered account, cost account, and company secretary. In July 2006, Business Today named him one of the top 9 business school professors in India. He was an independent director of the Indian Railway Finance Corporation and Bank of Baroda. Currently, he is the chair of the Technical Advisory Committee of the National Financial Reporting Authority. He has presented his views on accounting and auditing regulations to the Parliamentary Standing Committee of Finance. Regulators and governments are divided on how to deal with the digital currency. Should they permit with or without restrictions or ban them completely? So I think you will get a good idea from the speaker. So please listen. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon. May I start now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can start.
Good afternoon. I am happy to be part of the International Conclave on Engineering a Future World for Society 5.0 at RMK Engineering College, and thank the organizers for giving me an opportunity to present my views on the rapidly growing field of digital currency and the related societal concerns. My attempt is to present the issues in a nutshell. I would encourage you to read up more for a detailed understanding of the issues. I have planned this presentation as follows. First, I explain the term digital currencies for the purposes of this talk. Next, I describe some of the recent developments in the field that have received attention among investors, regulators, and others. I conclude my talk with some observations on the societal concerns. Digital currency is a wide term that includes cryptocurrency, virtual currency, and central bank digital currency. The Merriam-Webster dictionary defines cryptocurrency, also known as crypto, as, begin quotes, any form of currency that only exists digitally, that usually has no central issuing or regulating authority, but instead uses a decentralized system to record transactions and manage the issuance of new units, and that relies on cryptography to prevent counterfeiting and fraudulent transaction. Quote ends. It's a peer-to-peer system that can enable anyone, anywhere, to send and receive payments. Instead of being physical money being carried around and exchanged in the real world, crypto payments exist purely as digital entries to an online database describing a specific transactions. When you transfer cryptocurrency funds, the transactions are recorded in a public ledger. Cryptocurrency is stored in digital wallets. Cryptocurrency received its name because it uses encryption to verify transactions. This means advanced coding is involved in storing and transmitting cryptocurrency data between wallets and public ledgers. The aim of encryption is to provide security and safety. The first cryptocurrency was Bitcoin, which was founded in 2009 and remains the best known today. Ethereum, Litecoin, and Ripple are among the thousands of cryptocurrencies. Much of the interest in cryptocurrencies is to trade for profit, with speculators at times driving prices skyward. Virtual currencies are unregulated and may or may not use cryptography to secure their networks. Examples of virtual currency are Amazon coins, Facebook credits, Apple Pay, and so on. Central bank digital currencies are CBDCs are digital tokens issued and regulated by central banks, which are national currency issuing authorities. They are pegged to the value of a country's fiat currency, such as the Indian rupee or the US dollar. In contrast, the value of cryptocurrency or virtual currency is entirely market determined. The goal of CBDCs is to provide businesses and consumers with privacy, transferability, convenience, accessibility, and financial security. CBDCs could also decrease the maintenance a complex financial system requires, reduce cross-border transaction costs, and provide those who currently use alternative money transfer methods with lower cost options. A CBDC addresses a number of issues. A CBDC eliminates the third-party risk of events like bank failures or runs. Any residual risk that remains in the system rests with the central bank. High cross-border transaction costs can be lowered by reducing the complex distribution systems and increasing jurisdictional cooperation between governments. The dollar is still the most used currency in the world. A US CBDC could support and preserve its dominant position. CBDC removes the cost of implementing a financial structure within a country to bring financial access to the unbanked population. Finally, CBDCs can establish a direct connection between consumers and central banks, thus eliminating the need for expensive infrastructure. As of March 2022, there were 9 countries and territories that had launched CBDCs: the Bahamas, Antigua and Barbara, St. Kitts and Nevis, Montserrat, Dominica, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, finally Nigeria. It may be observed that the countries in the above list, except Nigeria, are tax havens that have weak regulations for exchange, money laundering, and taxation. There are 80 other countries with CBDC initiatives and projects underway. In February 2022, India's central bank, Reserve Bank of India, RBI, announced that it would introduce a digital rupee by the end of 2023. The RBI launched India's much awaited central bank digital currency and has readied for retail users from the 1st of December 2022. Though the Reserve Bank of India several times expressed worry about using digital currency, it appears now it has finally accepted it and introduced it, which stands both as a benefit and possibly also as a risk for the nation. In early years, digital currencies were a novelty, but lately they have caught the imagination of businesses, investors, and speculators. They have come to be used for a variety of transactions, including some arguably shady ones. Here are some concerns about them. The hype associated with the cryptos and the mind-boggling returns that investors claim to have earned from them have led to a market bubble. Uninformed speculators chasing high returns in low interest regimes have not only burnt their fingers, but may in many cases have lost their shirt as well. The bubble has often been compared to the tulip mania of the 1600s and the more recent dot-com bubble. Second, according to the World Bank, the price volatility of digital currencies hinders their ability to become legal tender. Legal tender is currency which can be offered and accepted within a given jurisdiction, such as in India, the rupee is legal tender. In the US, US dollar and so on. A report from the Bank of Canada illustrates this. While changes in the price of Bitcoin range from plus 25% and minus 15% relative to US dollar, the Canadian dollar barely moved over a period of 1 year. Third, traditionally, cash was used by criminals for such illegal activities as trade in narcotics and weapons, money laundering, human trafficking, and terrorist financing. Some of the characteristics that make cash attractive to criminals are also present in certain digital currencies. These are pseudo-anonymity, store of value, and wide acceptance. With the emergence of digital currencies, criminals can digitally transfer value, allowing for anonymous online and cross-border illegal commerce. According to a published study, approximately 24 million Bitcoin market participants use Bitcoin primarily for illegal purposes, and almost half of Bitcoin transactions are associated with illegal activity. These users reportedly conduct approximately 36 million transactions annually worth 72 billion and hold about 8 billion in Bitcoin. So these numbers are slightly dated, so you may get much larger numbers if you look at more recent data. The first high-profile arrest related to illegal trade using digital currencies occurred on the 1st of October 2013 when the FBI in the US arrested Ross Albright, also known as Debt Pirate Roberts, for running Silk Road, a darknet marketplace on which illegal goods and services were bought and sold using bitcoins. The FBI confiscated 174,000 bitcoins and shut down the site. Fourth, Bitcoin uses a publicly available distributed ledger of all historical transactions called blockchain to validate transactions. Bitcoin miners perform complex calculations using computing power and specialized software to create new blocks and validate them. The computing power required for this process continues to expand as the complexity of calculations necessary to validate new transactions continues to increase. Many Bitcoin miners have joined mining pools or companies who purchase and run specialized computers. Ironically, the economies of scale involved in mining pools has led to a concentration of computing power, making the distributed ledger much more centralized. Fifth, financial inclusion, the access of people to the formal financial system, is a key factor in poverty reduction. However, worldwide, 1.7 billion adults remain unbanked. Many proponents of cryptocurrencies argue that distributed ledger technology has the potential to increase financial inclusion since it does not require physical bank branch presence or expensive infrastructure to run. In March 2018, the group of 20, that is G20 communique, stated that, quotes begin, technological innovation, including that underlying crypto assets, has the potential to improve the efficiency and inclusiveness of the financial system and the economy more broadly, quotes end. Regulators and governments are divided on how to deal with digital currencies. Should they permit them with or without restrictions or ban them altogether? Algeria, Bangladesh, China, and Indonesia are some of the countries that have banned cryptos. Cryptos are legal in Morocco, Nigeria, South Africa, and the US. For now, India has taken the route of taxing capital gains from cryptos instead of banning them. The recent collapse of FTX, an exchange for trading cryptocurrency, has raised questions about their use and regulation. As we speak, investigations into FTX and its owner, Sam Bankman-Fried, are ongoing. Digital currencies are still evolving. As with stocks, bonds, and derivatives, the rules and the institutions governing them will take time to develop. I wish the conclave great success and once again thank the organizers for the opportunity to present my views. Open to questions.
Any questions from the students?
So you would have noticed that I didn't use a PowerPoint presentation because I thought a PowerPoint presentation is something you would have seen from morning to evening in this conclave. Everyone would be using it. So I wanted to be different. A second, since I am speaking and there is no presentation on the screen, you have no choice but to listen to me. So this is one way of keeping you awake in this post-lunch session. Hopefully you are awake.
So thank you, Professor, for your nice and informative talk. And there is no question from the audience. So,
May I ask a question?
yes.
Oh, okay. So since the audience chose not to, so either my presentation is absolutely lucid, so no doubts at all, or it is so thoroughly confusing that you thought there is no point in asking me any questions. So I would like to believe it's the former, although the latter is likely to be true. Anyway, I have a question. How many of you here in the audience have invested in cryptos? Just put up your hand. Oh, I am not an income tax officer, so don't worry, I won't take any action against you. Nor am I from the enforcement directorate. Okay, so I just want to know, because I read a lot that a lot of millennials, I don't think you are millennials, you are probably Gen Z. So a lot of millennials and Gen Z are investing in crypto. So I just want to do a dipstick survey to find out how valid that observation is. So how many of you have put any money in cryptos? Just raise your hands.
Few hands.
No hands? I think they are lying.
Only one.
Oh, I think they are lying.
No.
Quite a few must be investing.
Yes.
They are not saying it because
they are also students.
Yeah, it looks like they think that might not look very nice to say that. But I know for a fact that a lot of people are, I won't say seriously into cryptos, but a lot of people are playing in the crypto market. The other problem is that it's entirely possible your parents are also watching this session, and then they will be furious if they get to know that you are putting your money in cryptos. The money they gave you for your college fees and hostel fees and so on. So I completely sympathize and empathize if you are not being truthful, but don't think I am such a damn fool that I believe that you don't put your money in cryptos. Okay, now next question. How many of you intend to invest in cryptos? Put up your hand now. This is only an intention. You don't have to actually carry out your intention. 1, 2, 3, I can see. I can't see all the faces though. 4, I can see. 5. Okay. Oh, good. Maybe about 10, 15 perhaps, I think, in this audience. How many are there in the audience? How many in the audience? Total number of participants in the audience. Maybe around 80 or so.
Professor, it will be around 200.
200. Okay. Here again, you are not truthful because you really want to make money overnight. So I'm sure within your, heart of hearts, you think I want to put my money in cryptos and then I want to become rich overnight. But let me just conclude my presentation with this. The best place to put your money, especially when you start your career, probably in a matter of 1 or 2 years from now, is the State Bank of India. Because State Bank of India is first of all government owned. I'm not getting paid for this promotion. Okay. So State Bank of India is government owned and almost every Indian has an account with the SBI. So it is impossible for SBI to collapse. So therefore, put your savings only in SBI, and just because somebody gives you some 0.5%, 1% return more, don't go elsewhere. So I am done with this. So in any case, you want to ask me any questions now, you are free to ask. But I thought I would use this as an icebreaker to encourage you to speak up. So maybe if I probably appear to you as probably a very cold person. Actually, it is cold. I am right now in Bangalore. So it's very cold now. It's 19 degrees Celsius here during the day. I'm not sure Chennai is probably burning as always. So do ask me any questions if you have no questions, and thanks very much.
Wonderful, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye. All the best to you. Bye. So may I leave now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. So our next speaker is Mrs. R. Krishnan. I think she is ready to join.